Hello everybody, this is Earl Harville of Earl Harville Vox Studio coming to you with a new video. Getting over a cold, so I'm not in my best voice, but we shall proceed. Today I'm going to do a video that goes along with a blog piece that I wrote just recently on using sounds that we know well from our speech and bringing some of that coordination over to our singing. Singing and speaking are the same function for the most part. We tend to sing holding notes out longer, using a larger portion of our vocal range, maybe even using more colors than we might do in our normal everyday speaking. But for all intents and purposes, they're the same function. What I find very helpful to students is if they can get out of singing mode in their brain and stop thinking about singing, they tend to be able to make sounds a little more naturally. Because when we're thinking singing, we tend to overcomplicate everything. And so what I've been doing a lot in the last few months is using sounds like POW and BAM, because for one, they help us connect with what does our body do when we make certain sounds in more of a speech mode, when we're not thinking artistically so much. Because the body tends to do what it needs to do reflexively, and if we can see what happens, then we can take some of that stuff again back over to our singing. So for one thing, when we do pow, bam, whoa, we automatically get the proper amount of support. We don't have to think about what we need to do to support the sound. We just do, it occurs naturally. And now what I have my students to do is to take their fists and place them in their sides. I don't know if you can see me there. And place them in their sides. And make those sounds. Pow! Bam! Whoa! No! And they see that there's a gentle pressing out of these flank muscles here on the sides. So that's part of what the body does when it naturally supports itself in terms of making some kind of vocal sound. So then we take that and we extend it a little bit. We now want to see if we can keep some semblance of that feeling when we make these sounds. Now, as we start to add pitch, I tell the student, don't think singing. I don't want you to think singing yet. I want you to think that you're still kind of speaking or sounding on a pitch like we do when we sing, but we're not going to call it singing yet. We want to try to change our thinking process a little bit here. So what I'll do, for instance, with the guys, we'll start closer to our speaking range. So let's say maybe C3. They'll make the sound twice. Once, just thinking speaking. We're not even thinking pitch on it. And then the second time, to do it on a particular pitch without thinking, singing. I know that sounds redundant, but I really want to drive that home. I don't want the student to think about singing yet. So, for instance, on C3, again, often with their fists in their sides, so they can have a physical awareness of what's going down, I have them to go, pow, and then to sing it on that pitch. So, pow, 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 and then maybe jump to E flat. Pow, pow, on a G. Pow, pow, and a B flat. Pow, pow. Now the higher they're going to go, the first pitch will start to rise a little bit as well, as if you're more excited in your speaking. Because we tend to, when we get excited, our pitch, even of our speaking voice, tends to rise. So that's kind of what I have students to do. Here's C4, middle C. Pow, pow, and the E flat. Pow, 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 pow. So what students tend to tell me is that they feel like they're having to put in less effort to still get a sound out that's got some strength, because they're coming to it from a speech place instead of a, I have to sing through my bridge place. Now, I'm still sick, still a lot of phlegm, of course, just a little irritated, but I still am able to be rather functional. Pow, pow. So that's F sharp 4. Again, I'm not a great voice, but at least I can pull it off. If I jump up to C5, pow. So now I'm thinking as if I was a kid making that pow sound. Pow, pow. E flat. Pow, 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 pow. Not a great F5, but again, being sick, I'm able to do it and still be functional. I would start the ladies somewhere around G or A flat 3. Again, so they're starting in their speaking range. Again, doing the same thing. Another sound that I'm using a lot is BAM. Again, we're not thinking singing, we're thinking sounding, making this kind of exclamatory sound. BAM, 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 BAM. The higher I go, because I'm more excited, the speaking pitch has gone up. We're going to use that again as a tool as we move from speaking range in the bottom of our chest voice up through our middle and into head voice. So if I was to use BAM, so again, starting, if I was with a male student, starting on C3, or let me actually start on F3. BAM, BAM, B flat. BAM, BAM, and E flat. BAM, BAM, and the F. BAM, 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 BAM. I tell students, you might want to feel that BAM modifying toward a BIM, BIM, BIM. BAM, 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 BAM. B flat. BAM, BAM. C5. BAM, 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 BAM. That's E flat 5. BAM, BAM. F5. Again, not the greatest F5 I've ever done, but that shows that, again, even though I'm not in the best voice, I can still be very functional. So, again, what this does, it allows us to connect with the feeling of something that's happening in a speech kind of mode. And we take that feeling, because some people get really, they have to know what support feels like. Okay, we'll show you a sound in which your body naturally supports you. And then you keep that feeling going as you go higher out of your speaking range into your middle voice and into your head voice. This is not a warm-up. You need to make sure you warmed up first. So you want to start with some semi-occluded stuff first, lip trills, the puffy O's, woo, the straw exercise, a buzzy V, the NG, one of my favorites, starting with semi-occluded stuff, then you move on to, stuff like mum and bub and one, things that'll give you a little bit of extra support. And then you may want to do some pharyngeal stuff like, you can hear some phlegm still rattling up in there. And then you would want to do this after you've warmed up. This is part of the workout. But again, it helps us feel a slightly less pressurized way to approach some power and high notes by coming from kind of a speech perspective. Try it out. Have some fun. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Interested to know what you think about this exercise. I found it to be really helpful with my students, and they are giving me some very, very positive feedback on what it feels like for them when they do it. So try it out. If you're looking for some vocal training, whether in your locale or long distance, because I'm in Northwest Indiana for now, you can contact me and we can set up lessons on Skype or FaceTime. If you're interested, contact me at earlharvillevox@gmail.com. earlharvillevox, V-O-X, @gmail.com. Or you can leave me a voicemail message at 562-387-8025. 562-387-8025. And I will love to make contact with you so we can get you some lessons started. Okay? Have a good one. Keep singing. Bye.